What if I told you that you're keeping things at home that only steal your time, space, and peace of mind? That's right, my friend. Many people don't even realize it, but their homes are full of objects that serve no purpose other than accumulating dust and creating clutter. And worse, you spend hours cleaning, organizing, and taking care of things that simply shouldn't be there. Today, I'm going to show you 20 things you can eliminate right now to live better, with more ease and less work. It may seem difficult at first. I know. We have that attachment, that idea that one day we'll need it. But the truth is, the more we keep, the more weight we carry. And I'm not just talking about physical weight. I'm talking about mental weight, fatigue, stress. Imagine having less to clean, less to organize, and more time to do what really matters. Sounds good, right? So stay with me until the end, because each item on this list will surprise you. And I guarantee you'll look at your home with different eyes after this video. Let's start this transformation together. Did you know that keeping old clothes you haven't worn in years is taking up precious space in your closet? And I'm not just talking about physical space. I'm talking about energy too. Every time you open your closet and see that pile of wrinkled, forgotten clothes that no longer fit or that you don't even remember you have, you feel discouraged, that sense of clutter. And then you close the door and pretend you didn't see it. But the problem is still there, waiting for you. The first thing you need to do is set aside an afternoon, take all the clothes out of your closet and be honest with yourself. Those pants that haven't fit for 5 years, go away. That blouse you bought and never wore because it doesn't match anything, go away too. The secret here is simple. If you haven't worn it in the last 12 months, you don't need it. And look, this isn't wasteful. You can donate it to someone who will actually use it. You can sell it. You can even turn it into cleaning cloths. The important thing is to get it out of your life. When you do this cleaning, your closet becomes more organized. You find the clothes you really like more easily, and getting dressed becomes a pleasurable thing again. Plus, cleaning your closet becomes much faster. Fewer clothes hanging means less accumulated dust. Fewer moths, less humidity. And you'll feel a lightness you never imagined. Trust me, this is the first step to transforming your home into a lighter and more functional place. Another thing we accumulate without realizing it are plastic containers without lids. You know, those ones that are just lying around in the kitchen drawer. You open the cupboard and a bunch of containers fall out. But when you go to look for the lid, you can't find it anywhere. Then you store food in a container without a lid, wrap it in cling film, and in the end, you're spending more and creating more problems. These unpaired containers are just a nuisance. They take up space, make the kitchen disorganized, and make you waste time looking for what you need. So the solution is quite simple. Take all the containers at once, put them on the table and match them. Each container with its lid. Whatever is left over, whatever doesn't have a pair, goes away. No regrets, no guilt. You can recycle them. You can use them for other things like storing buttons, rubber bands, screws, but take them out of the kitchen. When you organize the containers, the drawer stays tidy. You find what you need right away, and storing food becomes a quick and practical task. And there's more. You stop accumulating cling film. You stop dirtying more dishes trying to improvise. The kitchen becomes truly functional. And look, this applies to other utensils too. That dented pan you don't use, that cracked glass, that chipped plate, if it's no longer useful, it doesn't stay. The kitchen is the heart of the home, and it needs to be practical, clean, and organized. When you eliminate what's useless, everything flows better. Now let's talk about something many people are afraid to throw away. Old papers, paid bills from years ago, receipts that are no longer needed, old magazines, newspapers, advertising brochures. All of this accumulates in drawers, boxes, on the table, and you don't even remember why you kept it. But every time you need to find an important document, you waste a lot of time rummaging through all this paperwork. And worse, paper accumulates dust, attracts moths, mold, and makes the house look abandoned. So it's time for a general cleanup. Set aside some time, take all this paperwork and start sorting. Important documents such as certificates, deeds, contracts, you keep in an organized folder. The rest you can discard. Water, electricity, and telephone bills from more than 5 years ago don't need to be kept forever. Receipts for the purchase of an appliance you no longer own can be thrown away. Magazines you've read and won't read again too. Look, if you're afraid to throw it away for safety reasons, you can shred it, you can burn it, you can do whatever you think is best. But the important thing is to get it out of your house. When you organize your papers, it becomes much easier to find what you need. You stop wasting time, you stop getting stressed, and your house becomes cleaner and more organized. Plus, you free up space in drawers and closets to store things that really matter. Before we continue, let me tell you something important. If you're enjoying these tips and truly want to transform your home, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. And tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's following along and exchanging ideas with you. Now let's continue with more tips to make your home lighter and more organized. Let's talk about expired or half-empty cleaning products. You open the utility room cupboard and find a bunch of bottles with leftover product, dried out detergent, old disinfectant, hard sponges, torn floor cloths, and then you buy more new product because you can't use that little bit that's left. In the end, you're accumulating old stuff and wasting money. Cleaning products do have an expiration date, and when they expire, they lose their effectiveness, can even stain things, create bad smells, or damage surfaces. So the first step is to check the expiration date of everything you have. If it's expired, discard it. If it's almost finished and you don't use it, discard that too. And those half-empty bottles of products, you don't even remember what they're for. You can throw them away without fear. Ideally, you should have the basics: a good multi-purpose cleaner, a degreaser, a disinfectant, and bleach. That's it. With that, you can clean the whole house without needing 20 different products. When you organize your cleaning products, it becomes easier to know what you have, what you need to buy, and you stop wasting money. In addition, the cupboard stays tidy. You find what you need right away, and cleaning the house becomes faster and more practical. And there's more. Fewer products mean less chemicals, less strong odor, and less risk of poisoning. Your home becomes healthier, and you save money every month. Another thing we accumulate unnecessarily are old and torn towels. You know that towel that's already worn out, full of stains, with the hem coming undone, but you keep it because you might need it someday. Well, that day never comes, and in the meantime, you're taking up space in your closet with something that's no longer useful. Old towels don't dry properly, they smell bad even after washing, and they give a feeling of neglect. So be honest. Do you really need 10 old towels stored away? The answer is no. What you can do is set aside 1 or 2 to use as cleaning cloths, to dry the dog, to put on the floor when you clean the bathroom. But the rest, you can discard. And when you buy new towels, buy quality ones, even if they're more expensive. A good towel lasts for years, dries well, doesn't shed lint, and you'll actually use it. When you organize your towels and get rid of what's no good, the closet becomes tidier. You have more space for what matters, and even the bathroom looks cleaner. Because having good, fragrant, and soft towels makes all the difference in the feeling of comfort in your home. And look, this applies to sheets too. Stained, torn, faded sheets that you no longer use can be donated or turned into cleaning cloths. There's no need to keep them for years and years. Let's talk about expired medications. This is a serious matter because many people keep medicine at home, thinking they might need it someday, but they don't even check the expiration date. Expired medicine is ineffective, can be harmful, and can cause poisoning. Besides, it takes up space in the cupboard, makes everything messy, and you run the risk of taking it by mistake. So the first thing you need to do is gather all the medicines in the house, check the expiration date, and separate the expired ones. Then, dispose of them correctly. Don't throw them in the regular trash. Don't flush them down the toilet. Take them to a pharmacy that handles proper disposal. And look, it's not just expired medicine. That syrup you used once and never needed again, that leftover pill from an old treatment, that dried out ointment, you can discard it all. Ideally, keep only the essentials: a dipyrone, a headache medicine, an antihistamine, a stomach ache medicine. The rest, only if you really use it. When you organize your medications, your medicine cabinet stays clean. You can find what you need in an emergency, and you avoid health risks. Furthermore, you stop spending money buying medicine you already have at home, because now you know exactly what you have and what you need. Now let's talk about something many people have but don't use: broken or old electronic devices. That old cell phone that no longer turns on, that charger that doesn't work, that radio that stopped getting a signal, that small television that nobody watches. All of this is stored in boxes, on top of the closet, in the junk room, and you don't even remember you have it. But it takes up space, collects dust, and serves no purpose. Old electronics can't be repaired, and if you haven't used them until now, you won't use them anymore. So what you need to do is separate all of this and dispose of it correctly. Electronics don't go in the regular trash because they have components that pollute the environment. You can take them to collection points, donate them to recycling projects, or even sell them to a scrapyard. The important thing is to get them out of your house. When you eliminate these old devices, you free up space, the house becomes more organized, and you stop carrying unnecessary weight. And look, this also applies to old batteries. Expired batteries don't work and can even leak and damage other objects. So dispose of them correctly, and that's it. Your home will be cleaner, more functional, and lighter. Before we continue, let me tell you something quick. If you want to have a clean, organized, and fragrant home without wasting hours of your day or spending money on expensive products, I've prepared a complete guide with easy homemade recipes, a weekly checklist, and professional tricks that really work. The link is in the first pinned comment. Now let's continue with the video. Let's talk about broken toys or toys that children no longer use. If you have children, grandchildren, nephews, nieces, you know how it is. The house is full of toys. Toys on the bed, on the floor, inside the closet, under the sofa, and many of them are broken, incomplete, or the children have grown up and no longer play with them. But you keep them because you have that attachment, that memory. However, these toys are taking up space, accumulating dust, and making the house messy. So it's time to make a selection. Separate the toys that are still in good condition and can be donated. Many children need them and will be happy to receive them. Broken toys beyond repair can be discarded, and those with sentimental value, you can keep a few in an organized box, but you don't need to keep everything. When you organize the toys, the room stays cleaner. The children can play better because they find what they want, and you have less mess to clean up every day. Furthermore, you teach children the importance of taking care of what they have and donating what they no longer use. That's education, that's respect, and it's good for everyone. Now let's talk about something many people keep unnecessarily: plastic bags. You go to the supermarket, bring home your groceries, and keep the bags because you might need them someday. Then you keep accumulating them, and before you know it, you have a bag full of them. And the truth is, you only use 1 or 2 occasionally, but you have about 50 stored away. Plastic bags take up space, get crumpled, dirty, and attract insects. So what you need to do is separate about 10 bags, which is more than enough, and discard the rest, or take them to a plastic recycling collection point. And look, if you want to do even better, invest in reusable bags. They're stronger, last for years, and you stop accumulating plastic at home. When you organize your bags, your cupboard stays cleaner, you have more space to store other things, and your home becomes more functional. And there's more. You help the environment because less plastic means less pollution. That's good for you and for everyone. Let's talk about old or painful shoes. You open your closet and find a bunch of shoes you don't wear. The ones that hurt your feet, the ones that are deformed, the ones that are out of style, the ones with worn out heels. But you keep them because you paid a lot for them, because you might need them someday, because they're still usable. But you don't wear them. And meanwhile, the shoes you really like are crammed in, crushed, and without space. So it's time for a clean out. Take all your shoes and be honest. Have you worn these shoes in the last 6 months? If the answer is no, you can donate or discard them. Shoes that hurt won't magically stop hurting. Old shoes won't become new again. And keeping shoes unnecessarily only makes your closet messy and makes your life more difficult. When you organize your shoes and get rid of what's no good, it's easier to choose what to wear. You take better care of the shoes you have, and your closet becomes much tidier. Plus, you stop wasting time looking for the right pair in the middle of the mess. Your routine becomes more practical and you feel better. Another thing we accumulate without realizing it are books and magazines we'll never read again. You buy a book, read it, and put it on the shelf. You buy another, read it, put it away. And then there comes a time when the shelf is full. There are books piled on the floor, and you don't even remember half the titles you have. And worse, there are those books you've never read and know you won't read. But you keep them because you think it's wrong to donate books, because you think you'll read them someday. But that day never comes. And in the meantime, the books accumulate dust, can get moldy, attract moths, and make the house look abandoned. So what you need to do is make an honest selection. Books you liked and want to reread can stay. Books that have sentimental value too. But the rest, you can donate to libraries, schools, social projects. There are many people who want to read and don't have access to books. When you donate, you're doing someone a favor and freeing up space in your home. And look, this also applies to old magazines. A fashion magazine from 5 years ago is useless. You can recycle it and that's it. When you organize your books, the bookshelf looks nice, you can easily find what you want to read, and your house feels lighter and more organized. Let's talk about excessive or broken decorations. You know those ornaments you bought years ago that are just sitting in the closet? Or those pictures you don't like anymore but keep on the wall just to avoid an empty space? Well, excessive decoration makes the house feel cluttered, makes cleaning difficult, and often doesn't even match your current taste anymore. So it's time for a makeover. Take all the ornaments, look at each one, and ask yourself, does this make me happy? Does this match my home? If the answer is no, you can donate or discard them. Broken, cracked, faded ornaments have no reason to stay. And those ornaments you received as gifts but never liked can also be donated without guilt. The important thing is that your home reflects your taste, your personality, and isn't a storage space for things that don't make sense. When you organize your decor, the house becomes more beautiful, lighter, and much easier to clean. Because fewer ornaments mean less dust, less to remove and replace when mopping. Your cleaning routine becomes much faster and more practical. Now let's talk about something many people keep without even realizing it. Old cables and wires. That cell phone charger you don't even have anymore. That internet cable you don't use. That wire from a device you don't even remember what it is. All of this ends up thrown into drawers, boxes, tangled up, and you never use it. But you keep it because you think you might need it someday. But that day never comes. And in the meantime, when you really need a cable, you waste a lot of time searching through all that mess. So what you need to do is separate all the cables and wires, identify what each one is for, and discard what you no longer use. If you don't know what it's for, it's because it's useless. You can discard it. And look, old cables don't go in the regular trash. You can take them to electronic waste collection points or donate them to recycling projects. When you organize your cables, it becomes much easier to find what you need. The drawer stays tidy, and you stop accumulating useless stuff. Your home becomes more functional, and you save time every day. Let's talk about expired or spoiled food in the pantry. You open the kitchen cupboard and find that expired package of pasta, that dented can you don't know when it's from, that spice that's lost its smell, that bag of flour with bugs. And you keep it because you feel bad throwing it away, because you think it's still usable. But the truth is that expired food is bad for you, it can be harmful, and it attracts insects and rodents to your home. So it's time to do a general pantry cleanup. Take all the food, check the expiration dates, smell it, look for bugs, and discard everything that's not good. And look, it's not waste, it's safety. You are protecting your health and the health of your family. After discarding what's expired, organize what's left. Put the foods that expire first in the front. Keep everything visible and keep the pantry clean and well ventilated. When you organize your food, you stop buying duplicates, you stop wasting, and your kitchen becomes much more functional. In addition, you avoid health problems and keep your home free of pests. Another thing we accumulate without realizing it is expired or unused cosmetics. You open the bathroom cabinet and there's that cream you bought and didn't like, that lipstick that changed color, that perfume that smells strange, that dried out nail polish. And you keep keeping it because you paid a lot for it, because you think you'll use it someday. But the truth is that expired cosmetics don't work. They can cause allergies, they can irritate the skin, and they also make the bathroom messy. So what you need to do is check the expiration dates of all products, discard what is expired, and get rid of what you no longer use. That cream you didn't like isn't going to suddenly become good. That perfume you don't use won't be used someday. Be honest with yourself. When you organize your cosmetics, the bathroom is cleaner. You find what you need easily, and you take better care of your skin and your health. In addition, you stop spending money buying new products while you have a lot of unused stuff lying around. Let's talk now about broken or unusable furniture. That crooked chair, that little table no one uses, that old cabinet tucked away in the back room. You keep it because you think you can fix it someday, because you paid a lot for it, because it has sentimental value. But the truth is, this piece of furniture is taking up space, making cleaning difficult, and making the house look neglected. So it's time to make a decision. If the furniture can be repaired and you're really going to fix it, that's fine. But if it's been there for years and you've never done anything about it, it's because you're not going to. In that case, you can donate it, sell it, or even discard it if it's no longer useful. The important thing is to free up space in your home. When you get rid of furniture that's no longer useful, the house becomes more spacious, more organized, and much easier to clean. You can move around better, make better use of the spaces, and feel lighter. Your home is for you to live well, not to store old things that no longer serve a purpose. Now let's talk about old mail and cards. That birthday card you received 10 years ago, that letter from a friend you don't even see anymore, that wedding invitation from someone you've lost contact with. You keep them because they have sentimental value, because you think they're beautiful, because you have that attachment. But the truth is, you don't even read these things anymore. They stay stored in boxes, in drawers, accumulating dust and taking up space. So what you can do is select only a few pieces that really have a lot of meaning and discard the rest. You can take a picture before throwing them away if you want to keep the memory somehow. But you don't need to physically keep everything. When you organize these mailings, you free up space, make the house cleaner, and also feel lighter emotionally. Because sometimes we carry the weight of the past without realizing it, and letting go of these things is part of the process of living better in the present. Finally, let's talk about empty packaging. That shoebox you keep to organize things, that beautiful gift box you didn't have the heart to throw away, that ice cream container you think you'll use someday. And then you accumulate a bunch of empty packaging, taking up space in your cupboard, and when you look, you don't use any of it. Empty packaging has no function if you're not actually using it. So be honest. Do you really need 20 shoeboxes? Do you need 10 empty ice cream containers? The answer is no. What you can do is keep only the packaging you actually use and recycle or discard the rest. When you eliminate this packaging, you free up a lot of space in your cupboards, your house becomes more organized, and you stop accumulating things that are useless. Your home becomes more functional, and you gain time in your daily life. Before I finish, I want to remind you of something important. If you want to have a clean, organized, and fragrant home without wasting hours of your day or spending money on expensive products, I've prepared a complete guide with simple homemade recipes, a weekly checklist, and professional tricks that really work. The link is in the first pinned comment. It's worth checking out to transform your routine in a practical and economical way. So, my friend, these were 20 things you can eliminate today to live better at home. It may seem difficult at first, I know. But each item you remove from your life is a weight off your shoulders, more space, more time, more peace of mind. You don't need to do everything at once. You can start little by little, one drawer a day, one cupboard a week. The important thing is to start. And when you see the difference, you'll wonder why you didn't do it sooner. Your house will feel lighter, cleaner, more organized, and you'll have more time to do what really matters, which is living well, enjoying your family, resting. So don't put it off. Look at your house right now and choose one of these 20 things to eliminate today. I guarantee you'll feel better. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, subscribe now and activate the bell so you don't miss the next videos. I want to help you have an increasingly better home. And tell me in the comments, which of these things will you eliminate first? I want to know. Hugs, and see you in the next video.